Hi, welcome to Patent Purple Life. My name's Jo and today we are talking about the Charlotte Tilbury Vintage Vamp Eyeshadow Quad. As you can see, I'm wearing it. I've managed to get quite a lot of the glitter shades down my face, so I'll be talking a little bit about that. But first let's have a look at the quad itself. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Vintage Vamp Quad. The way that Charlotte deals with eyeshadows is to number them rather than to give them a name, and each number has a role. So you prime with this pinky shimmery shade, you enhance, you smoke, and then you pop with the golden shade. I haven't followed that at all because I think that in makeup there are no rules and you do what works for you. I've put the smoky shade all over. I have gone with the enhanced shade in the transition area, and I've put prime in the corner and pop in the middle. As you can see from my face, the prime shade, this pinky glittery shade, has quite a lot of fallout, so it's come kind of quite far down my face towards my nose. If I had used a dampened brush like with Max Fix Plus or with Smashbox's primer water, I think I would have resisted that. So I'll do some swatches. This is shade 1, it's the primer shade. For me, priming with this colour really doesn't work. I tend to use it on the inner corners of my eyes. I wouldn't use it as a brow bone highlight either because I just think it's too brighty, whitey, pinky shimmery. It doesn't work for me. Shade 2 is the enhanced colour, one of my favourite shades to wear. Gorgeous, reddy, burgundy, loveliness. Just a great colour, great as an everyday colour, wash of colour, and I like it a lot. The next shade is the smoke colour, which is much more chocolatey, but again with the red and again with the burgundy. Beautiful shade, great on brown eyes. I think that the Vintage Vamp palette is probably one of the most versatile palettes from Charlotte's range. And then the final shade is the pop colour, which is golden, and it's not really pigmented, it's much more shimmer, glitter, sparkle. So I do understand why this is the pop shade, but I think that for me it doesn't always work. The pop shade in this palette has far less pigment than the pop shade from the, for example, Sahara Haze palette from Tom Ford. It really is a pure kind of pigmented glitter. So I have been known on occasions to put a black eyeliner on all of my lid and then to put this colour over the top to create much more of a glitter effect. But in terms of placing it over these gorgeous burgundy, red and burgundy shades, for me it doesn't really work so well. The prime colour, as I said, it really doesn't work for me as a primer, and it's quite glittery, so when you apply it with a fluffy brush, it really does leave transfer down the face. It's much better to pack it on if you're going to wear it like that with a quite dense shading brush. Overall, I am a fan of the Charlotte Tilbury palette. I really like the fact that she doesn't provide any applicators with it. I think that whilst it's nice to have an applicator, for a high-end palette like this, you really want to apply it with a beautiful brush, and the applicators, you just end up throwing them away or leaving them at home. They don't apply product as well as with a brush. The palette's quite thin. I don't really like the way that you open it. You do need a fingernail to click it open, which is not my preference, but it does open to a full 180 degrees, which I really like, and I wish that other palettes, Dolce & Gabbana, I'm talking to you, other palettes would open this far. It's just better, easier, it lays flat, and you can do what you want with it. In terms of the mirror, you can see the majority of your face in it. I like this rose gold with a kind of chocolatey burgundy shade. I think it's very classic, it's very art deco, and yeah, it's just the palette is great. You get 5.2 grams of colour, which is more than, for example, Dolce & Gabbana. It's still half of what you would get from Tom Ford, but I think in terms of portability, you can carry this one around in your handbag and it's fine. So overall, I would give this palette 7 out of 10. I think the things that let it down are the primer shade. For me as a woman of colour, it really doesn't work for me. And the glittery shade is really a pressed glitter. I really wish that she would bring out more shades for her foundation and her concealer. Shade 10 is way too light. It doesn't work for me at all, but I'm interested and looking forward to see what else the brand has to bring.